Otto Kilcher's life on the show Alaska: The Last Frontier has captured the attention of many viewers. Have watched him navigate the harsh Alaskan wilderness, but few truly understand the depth of the struggles he's faced behind the scenes. From the outside, it may seem like Otto's life is filled with excitement, adventure, and self-sufficiency, but there's a side of him that is often hidden. He's not just the strong, silent figure fans see on TV, he's also a man who has had to overcome many hardships and losses. These untold struggles are part of what makes his story so compelling and complex. While Otto is known for his skills as a survivalist and his ability to thrive in Alaska's difficult environment, there is so much more to him than his physical strength. His early years, the relationships he's had, and the challenges he's faced over time have shaped him into the man people know today. His journey wasn't always a smooth one, and understanding the real Otto requires digging deeper into his past, something that has mostly been kept in the shadows. He has always been private about his personal life, but it is that secrecy that makes his story even more intriguing. It leaves us wondering what might have happened in his past that influenced his present. What events led Otto to choose this rugged, remote lifestyle? Why did he leave the comfort of the outside world for the brutal wilderness of Alaska? As we explore his story, it becomes clear that Otto Kilcher's life wasn't just a series of happy moments living off the land. There were difficult times, moments of despair, and personal losses that have impacted him deeply. These are the parts of his journey that haven't always been shared with the public, adding an element of suspense to his character. The viewers are left to wonder, what really happened to Otto Kilcher? Why does he seem so driven, even when the world around him can be so unforgiving? There is a mystery behind Otto's quiet strength, one that beckons us to keep watching, to keep asking questions. It's easy to assume that someone who thrives in such a harsh environment is invincible, but Otto has had to face his own battles that were far beyond the physical struggles of survival. He's had to cope with personal grief, emotional challenges, and the emotional toll that living in such isolation can bring. What makes Otto's story even more captivating is the way he handles these challenges. He doesn't speak much about his emotional pain, but it's clear that it has shaped him in many ways. How does someone like Otto, who is used to living in a world where emotions often take a backseat to survival, deal with loss and heartache? How does he keep going even when faced with the weight of personal tragedy? These are the questions that keep viewers wondering about Otto's true story. It's not just about the physical survival of living in Alaska, it's about his emotional resilience in the face of loss, disappointment, and uncertainty. Otto's life has been a series of highs and lows, but his ability to continue moving forward, no matter the obstacles, is what makes him truly extraordinary. He's faced difficulties that could have broken most people, but Otto's willpower and determination to survive have kept him going. Despite the pain, he keeps pushing through, always focused on what's next. It's not easy to maintain that kind of drive, especially when life seems to be throwing everything at you. Yet, Otto's story isn't just about hardship, it's about strength. His ability to overcome challenges and adapt to an ever-changing world is something that not only makes him a strong survivalist, but also a symbol of resilience. As viewers, we watch Otto on television and see his triumphs, but what we don't always see is the emotional toll that these challenges have had on him. There's something deeply compelling about his ability to keep moving forward, despite everything he has faced. It creates a sense of curiosity, what fuels Otto's determination, what keeps him going even when the weight of the world feels too heavy to carry. The suspense lies in uncovering the layers of his life and understanding what really drives him. Otto's story, when you peel back the layers, is one of strength, survival, and an undying will to continue. It's easy to watch someone on television and think that their life is simple or straightforward, but Otto's life is anything but that. Behind every moment of triumph on the show, there's a deeper, often untold story of struggle, resilience, and a desire to overcome. This is the journey that Otto Kilcher has been on, and it's a journey that is far more complex than what meets the eye. For those willing to look deeper, Otto's life offers more than just entertainment. It offers insight into the human spirit and what it takes to survive in a world that is constantly testing you. The more we learn about Otto, the more we realize that his true story is not just about surviving in Alaska, but about surviving life itself. His quiet strength, his ability to face adversity head-on, and his resilience in the face of personal and emotional challenges make Otto Kilcher a figure who will continue to fascinate and inspire. His journey is one of both external and internal survival, one that speaks to the heart of what it means to endure, to rise above, and to keep moving forward, no matter what life throws your way. Otto Kilcher's life is filled with mysteries, many of which he has kept hidden from the public eye. We all know him from the popular TV show Alaska: The Last Frontier, where he portrays a strong, resilient figure, battling the harsh Alaskan wilderness. However, there is much more to Otto's story than what viewers see on screen. His past is filled with secrets, and many aspects of his early life remain untold, leaving us with many questions. What is the real story behind Otto Kilcher? Why has he chosen to keep so much of his past a mystery? These are the questions that spark curiosity and make us want to know more about the man behind the camera. Otto has always been a private person. While his life on the show is on full display, he rarely shares personal details about his past, which has made fans wonder about the man behind the Alaskan survivalist persona. There are parts of his story that we can only guess at, but those gaps in knowledge create an undeniable sense of curiosity. Why does Otto keep so much of his past hidden? Is it because of pain, fear, or something even deeper? This secrecy has become one of the most fascinating aspects of his life. It's not uncommon for people who live in extreme conditions like Otto to choose isolation, but his decision to keep so much of his story to himself adds a layer of intrigue to his character. We're left asking ourselves what has shaped him into the person he is today. The mystery surrounding Otto's life goes beyond his decision to live in the wilds of Alaska. It's clear that his experiences have molded him into a man who values privacy and is reluctant to share too much with the world. This sense of privacy adds an air of suspense. The viewers wonder, what happened in Otto's life that led him to be so closed off? Was there an event in his past that made him distrust the outside world? What is Otto hiding? It's almost as if we're on a quest to understand his motivations, but there are only a few clues scattered along the way. These clues, though scarce, only increase our curiosity about him. The more we watch, the more we find ourselves wondering about the life he led before coming to Alaska. Otto's decision to keep his past a mystery is not just about his personal life, but also about the choices he's made and how he lives today. He has spent most of his adult life living off the land, raising his family in one of the most remote and unforgiving places on Earth. What led Otto to make such drastic decisions? Why did he choose a life so far removed from the modern world? This question hangs in the air throughout the show, making us wonder whether his life in the wild is a form of escape or simply a choice that reflects his inner values. Is it possible that Otto's past experiences shaped his desire for this isolation? These are the questions that keep us invested in his story. There is no doubt that Otto's life has been shaped by things he may never openly discuss. Like many people, he has likely faced struggles and personal losses that have had a significant impact on him. These events are not always visible on the surface, but it's easy to see that something has driven him to embrace this difficult way of life. Is it a deep need for peace and solitude, or is it something darker? This uncertainty is what draws us in, keeping us watching, waiting for answers that may never come. The more we learn about Otto, the more questions arise. The sense of mystery only deepens as we get to know him better, leaving us curious about what has truly shaped him. What quotes even more intriguing is the fact that Otto's family plays a big role in his life. His strong connection to his children and his role as a father shows that he values family above all else. But how did his family life shape the man we see today? Was it his upbringing that influenced his desire to live in such a remote, self-sufficient way? Or is there something in his past that drives him to protect his family by keeping them away from the dangers and distractions of the outside world? Otto's decisions seem to be deeply influenced by his need to shield his loved ones from the harshness of life. This protective instinct is something that makes Otto even more compelling, and it leaves us wondering about the events in his past that may have influenced his need for protection. Over time, we see that Otto's life has been shaped by more than just the harsh conditions of Alaska. There are layers to his story that we haven't yet discovered, and each new clue leads to more unanswered questions. His ability to live independently, his toughness in the face of adversity, and his quiet strength all suggest that Otto has lived through things that have tested his limits. What was it that made him so self-reliant? What was it that convinced him that this way of life was the only way to truly survive? These unanswered questions only add to the suspense surrounding his life. There's an element of mystery in everything he does, and the curiosity about his past keeps us coming back for more. As viewers, we want to understand Otto's motivations, his struggles, and what drives him to continue living in such an unforgiving place. His story is far from simple, and the pieces of his past remain scattered, just out of reach. Each new episode of the show brings us closer to understanding Otto, but the more we learn, the more we realize that there is still so much we don't know. This sense of uncertainty is what makes Otto's story so captivating. It's a story that keeps us on the edge of our seats, wondering about the hidden parts of his life and what might have happened to him before he arrived in Alaska. The mystery surrounding Otto Kilcher is what makes his story so unique and compelling. The more we watch, the more we realize that there is much more to him than meets the eye. What happened in Otto's past to make him the person he is today? What is he hiding, and why does he choose to keep it a secret? These are the questions that will continue to fuel our curiosity about Otto for years to come. The suspense surrounding his life is not just about survival in the wilderness, it's about uncovering the truth behind the man who has chosen to live in one of the most remote corners of the world. We may never have all the answers, but that uncertainty is what makes Otto's story so fascinating and so worth exploring. Otto Kilcher's life on Alaska: The Last Frontier is full of unexpected twists and turns, making his journey one of both suspense and heartache. On the surface, Otto appears to be a strong, determined man who has adapted to the harsh conditions of Alaska's wilderness. However, as we dig deeper into his story, we find that his life hasn't been as simple as it may seem. In fact, Otto's life has been marked by events that took an unexpected and heartbreaking turn, leaving fans and viewers questioning what really happened and how it impacted him. When we think about someone who has lived in the Alaskan wilderness for as long as Otto has, it's easy to assume that they are tough, unshakable, and ready to face anything that comes their way. And while Otto has certainly proven his resilience in countless ways, his journey hasn't been without its challenges. One of the most surprising aspects of his story is that despite the rugged environment he lives in, Otto has had to deal with deep personal struggles that have rocked him to his core. His life has been filled with unexpected twists, some of which have tested him in ways that are not always visible to the audience. The mystery of what happened to Otto is something that keeps viewers on the edge of their seats. What was the event or series of events that caused Otto's life to take such a tragic turn? While we may not have all the answers, there is a deep sense of curiosity surrounding this part of his life. The idea that Otto, a man who seems so self-sufficient and strong, could be affected by personal loss or hardship is both surprising and emotional. The viewers are left wondering what it is about Otto's past that continues to affect him to this day. What were the struggles that shaped the person he has become? And more importantly, how did these challenges impact his ability to live the way he does today? There are moments in the show when Otto appears to be dealing with more than just the physical hardships of surviving in Alaska. It's in these moments that we see glimpses of the emotional toll that these unexpected events have had on him. The show may not always go into detail about what exactly happened, but viewers can sense that something deep and painful has shaped Otto's life. The suspense builds with each passing episode as we are given small clues that something tragic occurred. The more we learn about Otto's past, the more we understand that his ability to survive in such a harsh environment is not just about physical strength. It's also about emotional strength that he has had to develop in order to cope with the devastating events that have taken place in his life. As we watch Otto move through life in the wilderness, it's clear that he's not just battling the elements, he's also battling inner demons. What happened that led Otto to experience such a profound personal loss? Was it something that happened in his earlier years, or was it more recent? The unanswered questions continue to build, leaving the viewers with a deep sense of curiosity. It's not just about the survival skills that Otto has developed over the years, but about the emotional resilience that has allowed him to keep going. What gives him the strength to continue moving forward, even when faced with such heartache? The more we think about Otto's situation, the more it becomes clear that his personal tragedy is a major part. The idea that Otto has had to face such difficult moments in his life adds a layer of depth to his character that many viewers may not have expected. What is it about his past that has made him so determined to live in the wilderness? Is it an attempt to escape from something, or is it a conscious choice to find peace in a place where he can control his environment? These questions remain unanswered, but they drive our curiosity about Otto's life. The audience is left to wonder what he has gone through and how it has shaped his decision to live in such a remote and isolated place. The emotional journey that Otto has experienced is not just about the tragedy itself, but also about how he has learned to cope with it. It's one thing to face hardship, but it's another to find the strength to survive it. Otto's story is one of resilience, not just in the physical sense, but in an emotional and mental sense as well. The fact that Otto continues to live in such a harsh environment despite the personal pain he's endured speaks to his incredible willpower and determination. But how did he get to this point? What events led him to embrace this tough lifestyle, and how did he overcome the emotional obstacles that could have stopped him from moving forward? The sense of suspense in Otto's story continues to grow as we learn more about his past. What is it that makes Otto so private about his life? Why has he chosen to keep so much of his personal journey hidden from the world? The more we see of him on the show, the more we understand that Otto's life has been shaped by these hidden, painful experiences. It's clear that he has faced hardships that most people could never imagine, and yet he has continued to press on. This makes his story all the more compelling as we begin to realize that his strength is not just a product of the wilderness but of the emotional and mental challenges he has overcome. Despite the heartbreak Otto has faced, there is a sense of hope that runs through his story. His ability to keep going, even in the face of personal tragedy, is both inspiring and powerful. The viewers are left with a feeling of admiration for Otto, not just for his survival skills but for his emotional fortitude. What keeps him going? What drives him to keep pushing forward, even when the odds are stacked against him? These questions continue to keep us hooked as we wait to learn more about Otto's past and the events that shaped him into the man he is today. In the end, Otto's journey is one of both pain and triumph. It's a story of survival, not just in the physical sense but in the emotional and mental realms as well. The tragedy that Otto has faced has only made him stronger, and his ability to continue living in such a harsh environment is a testament to his resilience. But the mystery of his past remains, leaving us with a deep sense of curiosity about what happened to Otto and how it continues to shape his life today. This combination of suspense, curiosity, and emotional depth is what makes Otto Kilcher's story one that will continue to captivate audiences for years to come. Otto Kilcher's life on Alaska: The Last Frontier is not just about surviving the tough conditions of the Alaskan wilderness. It's also about his incredible inner strength, his ability to face tragedy, and the way he continues to fight through personal challenges. One of the most captivating aspects of Otto's story is his resilience. Despite the difficult moments he's faced, he continues to live his life with purpose and determination. His struggles have been intense, but his drive to keep going is even more remarkable. So what is it that keeps Otto going, even when it feels like everything is falling apart around him? There are times when Otto's personal journey seems almost too much to bear. It's easy to assume that someone who has lived in such an isolated place, enduring harsh winters and unpredictable conditions, would be able to handle anything that comes their way. But the truth is, Otto has faced more than just the physical challenges of surviving in the wilderness. He has dealt with deeply personal challenges that have tested him in ways that go beyond survival. These are the moments that make Otto's story so powerful and emotional. The tough Alaskan wilderness may have shaped him into the man he is today, but the emotional and personal battles he's faced have made him even stronger. When we look at Otto's life, it's clear that his emotional strength is just as important as his physical strength. There are moments when we see him struggling, not just with the elements but with his own emotions. These are the moments that show us a side of Otto that we don't often see. He is not just a rugged survivor, he is also a person who has been through painful experiences that have left a mark on him. The emotional toll of those experiences is something that Otto carries with him every day, even though he may not always show it. There's a certain mystery behind Otto's strength. How does he keep going when life gets so hard? What drives him to continue even when things seem hopeless? The emotional battles Otto has faced are not just about the typical struggles of living in the wilderness. They are about personal loss, heartache, and the kind of challenges that most people will never experience. These are the kinds of hardships that are not always visible on the surface, but they are still very real. Otto's quiet nature makes it hard to know exactly what he's going through, and this creates a sense of curiosity for the viewers. What has happened in Otto's life that has shaped him into the man we see on TV? What pain has he endured that continues to influence his decisions and the way he lives his life today? There is a certain tension that builds up as we watch Otto on the show. We see him dealing with difficult situations, but we don't always know what's going on in his mind. There are moments of suspense where viewers are left wondering what Otto is really thinking or feeling. This sense of uncertainty about what he is going through makes his journey all the more captivating. As the audience, we are constantly asking ourselves, what has Otto experienced in his life that has made him the way he is? What is he hiding, and why is he so private about certain aspects of his past? One of the most intriguing aspects of Otto's story is his ability to continue despite everything he has been through. His ability to endure is not just a matter of physical survival, it is also a matter of mental and emotional survival. What does it take to keep going after experiencing such heartache? How does someone like Otto, who has had to face so many difficulties, manage to stay strong and focused on the future? These are the kinds of questions that drive our curiosity about Otto's life. It's clear that his journey has not been easy, but his ability to rise above the challenges makes his story even more inspiring. Otto's viewers, we can't help but feel a sense of admiration for Otto. His ability to push through, even in the toughest of times, speaks to a deep inner strength that many of us can only dream of. But it's not just his strength that makes him interesting, it's the fact that he has faced real struggles that have shaped him into the person he is today. His life is a story of perseverance, of pushing through the pain and of not giving up, no matter what. But what is the source of this strength? What has happened to Otto that has made him so determined to survive even when the world around him seems to be falling apart? Throughout the show, we get glimpses of the personal struggles that Otto has faced. We see him working hard to maintain his land, providing for his family, and dealing with the constant challenges of life in the wilderness. But beneath all of that, there are moments when we see the emotional toll these experiences have taken on him. These are the moments that remind us that Otto is not just a survivalist, he is a man who has had to fight through some very difficult times. The curiosity about what happened in Otto's past continues to grow, as we begin to realize that there is so much more to his story than meets the eye. The emotional struggles that Otto has faced are not just about the past, they are also about how he handles the challenges he faces today. Despite the hardships he has endured, Otto continues to live in the wilderness, building his life and his family's future. There's a certain bravery in this decision. It's not just about surviving, it's about continuing to fight for something better, even when everything seems stacked against you. Otto's journey is about overcoming obstacles, both physical and emotional, and continuing to live life on his own terms. But the question remains, what drives Otto to keep going even when the road is so difficult? There is a sense of wonder and awe that surrounds Otto's ability to keep moving forward. It's easy to admire someone who is able to endure so much, but it's the mystery of why he continues to push forward that keeps us interested. What is it that Otto is holding on to? What motivates him to continue even when the weight of his past and the challenges of his present seem so heavy? The suspense surrounding Otto's emotional journey is what makes his story so gripping. As viewers, we want to know what keeps him going. We want to understand what it is that has made him so resilient and so determined to continue living in the way he does. The strength Otto has shown in the face of so many challenges is a testament to his character. His journey is one of survival, but it is also a story of growth, resilience, and determination. His ability to handle the difficult moments in his life is what makes him such a compelling figure. It's easy to admire someone who can survive the harsh conditions of the Alaskan wilderness, but it's even more admirable when you realize that Otto's survival is not just physical, it's emotional, mental, and spiritual. Despite everything he has faced, Otto continues to move forward, and that is what makes his story so powerful and inspiring. The curiosity surrounding his journey will keep us watching, hoping to uncover more about the man behind the survivalist persona, and understanding how his past continues to shape the person he is today. Otto Kilcher's life story is a captivating journey filled with both triumphs and setbacks. One of the most intriguing aspects of his life is his ability to navigate the unforgiving wilderness of Alaska while also keeping parts of his personal life hidden. As we follow Otto on Alaska: The Last Frontier, we get to witness the grit and strength he possesses. But what we don't always see are the quieter, more personal struggles he's faced over the years. What is the real story behind Otto's life? What motivates him to keep living in such a remote and rugged place, despite everything he has gone through? These questions create a sense of suspense that keeps viewers engaged, as they try to understand the man behind the camera. When we first watch Otto on the show, we see a man who is strong, resourceful, and capable of handling whatever the wilderness throws at him. He is often the one who seems to have all the answers, knowing how to fix things, build shelters, and survive harsh conditions. But beneath the surface, Otto's life is much more complicated. There's more to him than just his survival skills. Over the years, he has faced significant personal challenges that have shaped who he is today. These challenges have left deep marks on Otto, but what exactly are they? What has happened in his life that has forced him to build such a strong exterior? The curiosity surrounding Otto's past builds with every episode as viewers wonder what is hidden beneath the tough exterior. Otto, quote,'s ability to live in one of the most isolated places on Earth is a remarkable feat. But what makes his story even more compelling is the fact that he doesn't just survive in Alaska, he thrives. It's easy to assume that someone who has lived in the wilderness for so long would be immune to hardship, but Otto's life tells a different story. The harsh conditions of Alaska have certainly shaped him, but they have not been the only factor in his development. Otto's personal journey has been marked by experiences that have tested him in ways that go beyond physical survival. These experiences, while not always visible, have played a huge role in shaping the man he has become. The more we learn about Otto, the more we realize that there is much more to his story than we initially thought. The idea that Otto has gone through difficult personal experiences adds a layer of depth to his character. It makes us question how someone can endure such hardship and still continue to live a life that seems so full of strength. What has Otto been through that has shaped his desire to live in such a remote place? Why does he choose to face these struggles head-on rather than try to escape them? It's this sense of mystery that makes Otto's story so intriguing. As viewers, we are left to wonder what personal events have affected him and what motivates him to keep pushing forward despite it all. There are moments in Otto's life that seem almost too personal to share, and these are the moments that draw us in. His privacy adds to the suspense, as we find ourselves asking what secrets Otto might be hiding. There are hints of past struggles, emotional pain, family challenges, or losses that Otto keeps to himself, leaving us wondering what really happened. Why is Otto so private about certain parts of his life? Is it because he wants to protect his family, or is there something deeper that he doesn't want to reveal? These questions keep us guessing and make Otto's journey all the more fascinating. Despite the sense of mystery surrounding Otto's past, there is also a sense of admiration. His ability to keep going despite the emotional weight he carries is truly inspiring. His life in the wilderness is not just about physical survival, it's about emotional endurance. The personal challenges he has faced have not broken him, they've made him stronger, and yet he rarely talks about them. This makes his story all the more powerful, as we begin to understand that the strength Otto shows is not just a result of his physical environment. It is the result of overcoming deeply personal hardships and continuing to live life with determination. The curiosity about Otto's emotional journey continues to grow as we watch him interact with his family and face the challenges of everyday life in Alaska. What happened in Otto's past that makes him so private and reserved? Is it possible that he's trying to protect others from the pain he's experienced? Or is there something else at play here? The more we see of Otto, the more we realize that his life is not as straightforward as it seems. His relationship with his family, particularly his children, is an important part of his life. But what role does his past play in shaping the way he interacts with them? Is he more protective because of the pain he has endured, or is there something else that drives him to keep his family close and away from the dangers of the outside world? There's a certain complexity to Otto's character that keeps us coming back for more. He is a man who has faced both physical and emotional challenges, yet continues to live his life with purpose. The tension between the private man we see on the show and the personal struggles he has faced adds an element of suspense to his story. What is Otto really thinking? What is he really feeling? The show gives us small glimpses into his life, but it doesn't always reveal everything. This creates a sense of mystery, making us want to learn more about the man behind the survivalist persona. One of the most captivating aspects of Otto's story is how he has learned to cope with his past while continuing to build a life in Alaska. Despite the pain he has endured, Otto is not someone who gives up. He continues to push forward, to take care of his family, and to live in a way that allows him to feel in control of his environment. His ability to keep going despite everything speaks to the deep well of strength he draws from. But it's also clear that Otto is not immune to the emotional toll of his past. The curiosity surrounding his emotional struggles continues to grow as we watch him face new challenges. What keeps him going, and how does he manage to stay strong in the face of such adversity? Otto's story is one of survival, not just in the wilderness, but in life itself. The personal losses and hardships he has faced have shaped him into the person he is today. His resilience is not just physical, it's emotional as well. This adds a layer of depth to his character that keeps us fascinated. The more we learn about Otto's life, the more we realize that there is so much more to him than meets the eye. What has happened in his life that has made him so private and reserved? What personal tragedies has he faced that continue to affect him today? These questions remain unanswered, but they are the ones that keep us hooked and make Otto's journey so compelling. Ultimately, Otto's life is a story of perseverance and strength. His ability to survive the harsh conditions of Alaska is impressive, but it's his ability to overcome personal tragedy that makes his story even more remarkable. The mysteries surrounding Otto's past create a sense of curiosity that keeps us watching, eager to learn more about the man who has faced so much and yet continues to live with such determination. His journey is not just about surviving the wilderness, it's about surviving life itself. Otto Kilcher's life on Alaska: The Last Frontier has always fascinated viewers, not just because of his ability to survive in one of the toughest environments, also because of the many challenges he's faced that are not immediately visible. While the show highlights Otto's survival skills and the way he navigates the tough Alaskan wilderness, it doesn't always show the personal journey he's been on, the emotional and psychological battles that have shaped him into the man he is today. As we dive deeper into Otto's story, we begin to realize that his life is filled with both struggles and triumphs that have contributed to the person we see on the screen. But what is it about Otto's past that has made him such a complex figure? What hidden experiences have shaped his character and made him the man he is now? The more we try to understand Otto, the more these questions keep us hooked, urging us to learn more. At first glance, Otto comes across as a tough and self-sufficient individual. He knows how to hunt, how to build, and how to survive in an environment that would scare most people away. But while these skills are impressive, they don't tell the full story of Otto's life. The truth is, Otto's ability to thrive in such a harsh environment is not just a result of his physical skills, it's also the result of emotional resilience, something that has been tested over and over throughout his life. Despite everything he's been through, Otto remains determined and strong, and this makes us wonder, what is it about his past that has shaped him into such a resilient individual? What has happened in his life that has forced him to become so emotionally strong? Throughout the show, we get hints of Otto's personal life, his relationship with his family, his struggle to maintain a sense of normalcy in a wild and unpredictable place, and the way he manages to hold everything together, even when things seem to be falling apart. However, much of what makes Otto who he is remains shrouded in mystery. Why is he so private? What is he hiding from the world? These questions are not always answered on the show, but they add an element of curiosity and suspense that keeps viewers coming back for more. The audience becomes invested in Otto's story, wondering what is behind his stoic exterior. What happened to him in the past that still impacts him today? Why does he seem so determined to keep certain parts of his life hidden? Otto's emotional struggles are not always easy to spot. He doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve, and he doesn't talk much about his past. This makes it even more interesting to try and figure out what's going on beneath the surface. There are moments when Otto shows glimpses of vulnerability, but these moments are rare and fleeting. We are left to wonder if these are just brief glimpses of the emotional toll his past has taken on him, or if they are small windows into a deeper emotional struggle that he is trying to cope with. The more we see of Otto, the more we realize that his strength doesn't just come from surviving the wilderness, it comes from facing painful memories, personal loss, and internal battles that most people would never have to endure. But what exactly are these experiences that he doesn't speak about? What personal tragedies has Otto experienced that continue to shape him today? The curiosity about Otto's life is amplified by the sense of mystery surrounding his emotional history. Every time we see him working hard to keep his land in order, providing for his family, or simply going about his daily routine, we wonder what he is really thinking. What are the thoughts and emotions he hides behind his tough exterior? The tension between what we see on the outside and what is happening on the inside creates a sense of suspense that makes us want to know more about Otto's personal journey. His journey in the Alaskan wilderness may be impressive, but the emotional journey he has gone through is just as compelling, if not more so. What has shaped Otto into the man he is today? What drives him to keep going, even in the face of hardships that most people would find impossible to bear? There's also the question of Otto's relationship with his family. While he clearly cares deeply about them, there are times when his private nature seems to create distance. He's often shown working alone, taking on the hard tasks without much help from others. This makes us wonder if his tendency to work alone is related to the personal struggles he's been through. Is Otto more independent because he feels the need to protect his family from the emotional pain he's experienced? Or is he simply a man who values solitude and the peace that it brings in such a difficult environment? These questions keep us curious about Otto's motivations and what lies behind his actions. The dynamic between Otto and his family adds another layer of complexity to his character. What role does his past play in the way he interacts with his loved ones? The more we learn about Otto, the more we realize that his story is not just about surviving in the wilderness, it's about overcoming personal struggles that could have easily broken him. His journey is one of perseverance, not just physically, but emotionally. Otto's strength is rooted in his ability to keep moving forward, even when the past threatens to hold him back. But how does he manage to keep going? What is it that motivates him to press on, even when things seem impossible? These questions remain unanswered, but they are what keep us coming back to Otto's story. There's something about his journey that speaks to the human experience, the idea that we all have our own struggles, and it's our ability to rise above them that defines us. Throughout Otto's journey, we see him face countless challenges. From battling the elements to dealing with the emotional weight of his past, Otto's life is never easy. But through it all, he manages to hold on to the things that matter most to him: his family, his land, and his ability to survive. There is a quiet determination in Otto that we can't help but admire. He doesn't ask for help, and he doesn't complain about the difficulties he faces. Instead, he quietly continues to move forward, finding solutions to every problem that comes his way. This resilience is what makes Otto's story so powerful. It's not just about the wilderness, it's about the inner strength that allows him to continue living, despite everything that has happened to him. What makes Otto's story so compelling is the combination of his emotional struggles, his resilience, and the mystery that surrounds him. There are so many questions that remain unanswered about his past and his personal journey, and it's these questions that keep us hooked. What has Otto experienced in his life that has made him so strong, and what has he been through that continues to shape him today? As we continue to watch Otto's story unfold, we are left with a sense of curiosity and a desire to know more about the man behind the survivalist persona. The suspense surrounding his emotional journey is what makes his life story so captivating, and it's what keeps us coming back for more, hoping that one day, we'll learn the full truth of what makes Otto Kilcher the man he is.